Welcome to the Love and Live Show. I'm Queen Lenora.
And I'm Elijah.
And we are here with relationship advice.
We are.
Yeah, so I had to be the first one, of course, because I'm marvelous and talented. L&L crew, I appreciate you all. Okay, so the question is, when you first start in a relationship with your new boo, boyfriend, girlfriend, what are things to make sure you guys stay connected to build a great and healthy relationship?
Oh, you put me on the spot?
Well, I'm asking the question, so you get to go first, partner.
Okay. So, pretty much keeping the connection in our, the start of a relationship.
Yes.
I feel like, as a younger lad myself.
Yes, as a younger lad.
There's a lot of different things you could do. It could be really, one thing that's important is that you're doing something. Mm-hmm. But, some people are in long distance or stuff like that, even in the beginning. Are they getting to know people? It's different. It's different than it was probably before.
I don't want you going through this whole, I'm going to go around this big old circle.
It's not a big old circle. I'm just saying, times have changed.
I'm just saying, I don't care about the long distance, the beginning of a relationship, wherever, if you're long distance or short term, whatever. How is it to keep your relationship, the fire, to grow, to become a great long relationship? Because people get worried or scared in the beginning of a relationship, so they're not themselves.
Yeah.
So
sure.
That's what we're talking about.
Q&A, make it fun.
Q&A,
make it fun, make it real fun. I like this, maybe you say 2 things you like, 2 things you dislike, and vice versa. Just kind of piggyback off each other, back and forth. And that creates conversation, and you get to know them more. Not only conversation, you also know what they don't like and what they like. So it becomes
and their boundaries.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you need to know the boundaries.
You know that person, or you know a lot more about that person.
Yeah.
So that's really all I'd say. Outside of that, if you're in a relationship and you're like, this is the thing, you guys are kind of transitioning from dating to more serious type of thing, labels and all that. Just spending that time, maybe, it could be something stupid. Just spending that time in general. Because it does take a little bit more in the start of a relationship to really, you need to fill things out. It's really an important time. So, that's all I can really say.
Okay, I think you did really good. Especially being young and, and stuff like that. I think in a relationships, I think we need to understand that if you do it properly and you've been in your dating stage first, you want to date. And I think a lot of people miss that step, is dating. Because dating is where you get to know each other. You can find out if this is who you want to be with or not. And then when you're in this relationship, you want to be honest. Your true feelings, regardless if somebody likes it or not. Because the simple fact that people might not like it. And it's okay for them not to like you, and it's okay for you not like them. It's okay, and not like I don't ever want to talk to you, be friends with me. But you might not be the person I want to be in a relationship with.
Exactly.
And that's okay. And I think if you date only one person at a time, for me, I feel like if you date one person at a time, you won't have no choice but to like that person. You won't have no choice but to, of course, have a connection with them, because you're only dating that person. And then when you guys go further along, you realize maybe we should never have dated. One person is going to feel that way. We probably jumped into this too fast or something like that. But if you can, and that's not saying that if you do only date one person that you're not going to find somebody. It just means that you got to understand that when you're in a relationship, you have to grow together. So you guys have to be able to tell each other how you feel, what you like about each other, what you don't like, what your boundaries are, what you don't want to hear from that person. Because some people's personality is different. What I realize in any form of relationship, any form, people will do to other people what they don't want done to them in any relationship.
Oh, yeah.
So my thing is, somebody could sit here and chew really and smack really loud. I did that because, mukbangers, sorry. But people love mukbangers because of that. But they smacking really loud, and they might not like it. I need to express, I don't like you smacking like that. Can you learn to chew with your mouth closed?
Can we do something about this? Can we get to the bottom of it?
Yeah, I just can't handle it. Or somebody might have a click. They just sit in. and they don't realize they're doing it.
Yeah.
Or they do it with their nails, or and not bother somebody. And because you're in the beginning of the relationship, it's not really bothering you because you're not hearing it, because you're just so fascinated with the person you're with. But if it was somebody else, you wouldn't able to understand. If you don't like it with somebody else, soon to be with this relationship, you're not gonna like it. So my thing is, I always try my best to tell people, treat people the way you want to be treated in a relationship. Open communication about everything, even if you think the person's not gonna like you. And be yourself so they can see, because you might say, oh, I'm this person, and they be like, oh, I can deal with it, and then they see you do it, and you be like, I told you, and it's not the same. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Or they could be like, oh, I don't like that, I don't know if we should be like that, but then they can tolerate it because it's you. You know what I mean? So it could be either or. Be just who you are. I realize that with my husband that I'm with now. I was so tired of men and sick and tired of men. And I kind of explained it in the video to the Heart to Heart collab with the Keep It Up with the Griffins.
Yeah.
And I tried to explain it then. I was just done. Like, men got on my nerves. I was through. I was just there for that quick companion and leave. I didn't want no true relationship. I didn't feel it. It was that true relationship. I just wasn't feeling it. And Chris was not my type, and I wasn't his type. But we were just so real with each other and blunt with each other that we realized we can't live without each other. And as we're getting ready to go on 23 years, I guess it's true. We can't live without each other, And we haven't had a lot of arguments. Not saying we haven't had arguments, or we had a little minute arguments, but we haven't had a lot of big arguments. Because we were so compatible, and he had to accept me for who I was, and I had to accept him for who he was, and it eliminated so much. And we didn't even realize that. I don't even think we had a scary moment in a relationship in the beginning, like, I don't want to mess this up, because I think we didn't care. So if it messed up, we didn't give it on. You know what I mean? I think that's just how that was. And as I tell everybody to date a whole bunch of people, when I got with Chris, I wasn't dating anybody at all. So when I say you don't have to date a lot of people, don't. I mean, it was my pastime. My favorite pastime when I was single was to date. I dated so many people, I just loved it, But when God sends you the right one, you be ready. So just walk in being you, and don't care if that person likes who you are. Just be you, because ain't nobody gonna be you better than you. And if that person ain't meant for you, that's a good thing, because that's the less heartache and troubles and trials and tribulations you don't have to go through. So how you feel about that?
I feel like that is true. I mean, you did say a whole lot there.
I did.
So we got to take it step by step. But even just like what you were just saying there, feeling really like that uneasy kind of feeling, and not just that, but like feeling like you need to kind of put up an act. Don't do all that. Just don't, because you're setting yourself up for failure even in the relationship. Like, say you're trying to upkeep this image. Once you get in a relationship, you're going to get tired of upkeeping that image, or something's going to happen eventually to where there's a hole in your whole situation. So the next thing you know, you're like, oh, you're really not like this. Oh, you're trying to act like this the whole time, and everyone's seeing the true colors, or not everyone, but the significant other seeing the true colors, and it's like a whole lot of drama and stuff for no reason. So first of all, don't set yourself up for that. Just be you. And if people don't like you for you, or the other person don't like you for you, so many other options. Continue to move forward.
Exactly. I like that. That was beautiful. Well said.
Thank you. That's pretty much all. I mean, like, you did say a lot there, but that, in summary, in summary,
to shorten my long speech out.
In summary, that's what I would say, and how I feel about what you said.
Yeah, because relationships are not. They can be easy, but they're hard. They're hard to maintain, because you always got to make sure you are concerned about each other. You know what I mean?
I mean, life is crazy. It's hard to be concerned about yourself at times. So when you got a whole other person, it's like all these different things, all these different factors, but it's doubled. So,
I got to make sure that my husband is happy. He's happy by himself. of course. So I don't dictate his happiness. I don't want you to be like, oh, that's wrong. I don't dictate his happiness. But I got to make sure, as being his wife, that he's happy. And he has to make sure, being my husband, that I'm happy. Now, we're happy separately. We have our relationship with God. We can commune together. But we're happy. So my goal is, are you all right? Are you satisfied? Are you this and that? Because it's in the relationship. I make sure to touch my husband's hand, to touch him, and all that. Hush, because you know I do. And because he's over here making facials. Sorry, you guys. And he does the same thing. I do it in my way, and he does it in his way. And that was a thing, probably was one of our toughest, not a big argument, just more of a constant conversation, because we had different ways to connect with each other. You know what I mean? So it's those things that you want to build in a relationship. Is to make sure you have like that contact, because of great intimacy.
Well, I think we should end it here. Be sure to what?
Love and live
each day
as if
it were
your
last.
Smooches. 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 Oh.